A fiery build-up all of last week when you had the Raksha Mantri make comments about Sir Creek and Pakistan, followed up by the IAF chief, gave us more details, including the fact that we shot down 4 to 5 F-16s during Operation Sindoor. Overall, about 10 to 13 jets brought down. Could be more, we don't have the final details. Followed up by the army chief who told Pakistan clearly that we are ready to change the map if required. It's been a week of build-up. Something's going on. We don't know what that is, but let's try and break that down with Major General Rajiv Narayanan. He's a professor of practice, IIT Madras. He's a strategic defense analyst, visiting fellow at CLAWS, member at the Chennai Center for China Studies. Thank you, General Narayanan. Good to talk to you once more.
Thank you. Thank you, Niranjan. Good to be back on your podcast. Yeah, interesting. But I'll just take a step back and tell you where Pakistan is stuck today. It's stuck between the devil and the deep sea. It's always been jumping either from USA to China to back to USA. So, I won't agree with Shashi Tharoor when he says India should seek its Lagrange point. India is not a small moon between any rising China or USA. No, we don't work that way. That is not strategic autonomy. It is Pakistan which has to seek its Lagrange point between USA and China. And within that, see, a Lagrange point in space, that body is satellite when you place there is not static. It has got to move to keep itself stable because with the movement of the Earth and all the satellite, all the celestial bodies, the gravitational pull also shifts. So that is why the satellite keeps moving. Yes, the requirement of fuel is less. This is what on one side is the devil, US, and the other is the deep sea, China, and Pakistan is caught between them. They've forgotten what Kissinger had mentioned about friendship with USA, that it's bad to be an enemy of USA, but it's worse to be his ally. What happened? So first we see Pakistan has descended into chaos. Exactly as their own journalist Ahmed Rashid had written in his book with the same name, Descent into Chaos, way back in 2008. Despite all promises by DJT and him running there and trying to show a box of some rocks to say that this is rare earth, as if he knows what is rare earth and the other side knows what is rare earth. You don't see rare earth as an element. It's very difficult to take it out. It's not rare. It's available in the ore, but it's very difficult to take it out. And it's available in small quantities in all the ores. Main thing what DJT has told both these champions when they went last time, Munir and Sharif, is that as part of the ISF, they've got to put boots on ground. Now just remember, a little while ago, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan had done a defense deal and Saudi Arabia had demanded 25,000 troops.
Yeah.
Now Saudi Arabia is also part of that ISF. The part of those 8 countries who are supposed to provide boots on ground. Where will he get his troops? He's not going to put his boots and get his people killed by the Hamas. To my understanding, it is the same Pakistanis whom he'll send, leaving some for his defense. There has been a history of Saudi Arabia using Pakistanis for defense. Till about the 70s and 80s, till that mosque, the Mecca incident took place in 79. Now, where is he going to get his troops from? Now, just imagine KP is on fire, Balochistan is on fire, latest POJK is on fire, and then the champion tries to instigate you by building up resources in Sir Creek. And comes the statement from our Honorable Raksha Mantri that the road to Karachi runs through Sir Creek. And remember last time he had told after the, not the ceasefire, I would say stoppage of hostilities in Sindoor, he had told the Navy that next time you will start.
Yes.
Through Karachi. Air Chief gives out another bit of how much was destroyed. And the army chief says that the geography and history will be changed and they have to remember. Okay, now what is happening in Sir Creek? Why is he worried? See, we must remember the problem of the Sir Creek has been a problem left behind by the Britishers. Wherever they go, they leave behind a problem. In British India, the area of Sir Creek was the border between Sindh and Kutch. Initially, they were part of the Bombay Presidency. Then Sindh was taken away from the Bombay Presidency, and it began from 1908, I think, until 1914. Finally, they arrived at what should be the border, and that is where they created all the faux pas. They made two statements in that treaty, that it is the eastern border, which Pakistan now claims. And the second point they gave in that same clause, A and B, B is that since the water body is navigable for most part of the year, it will follow the Thalweg principle. Thalweg, it's a German word. Thal means a valley, Weg means the way. Means the lowest point of a water body, which is navigable. Lowest point is always the center point, because that is the deepest. Now that is what India demands, that this is Thalweg, because it is navigable most.
Yeah.
Pakistan says the other way since 97. They were not exactly at Sir Creek, but a little further ahead to Bhuj in 65, 71. They use this for terror activities and drug smuggling, because there is a Harami Nala. It goes into Pakistan and comes back. Vani, it's called, it's a Vani Nala which goes into Pakistan. It's called Harami Dhoro, and then comes back into India. It's called Harami Nala. Then there is a Bondo Nala which comes in. These are the two streams they use. What is the issue which comes up? Why the standoff? Firstly, it is very rich in fisheries, especially the Harami Nala area. You have a lot of prawns, red salmon, and a whole lot of fisheries.
Yeah.
Next, it has direct impact on your boundary for EEZ.
Yeah.
So you also downed the Atlantic in this area. The Pakistani reconnaissance aircraft in 99, just after the Kargil war. So from that time, your BSF has become very strong there. There is a marine battalion, because it's all waterbound, swampy areas, and whole lot. It's an estuary. So you have a marine battalion, you have a marine commando battalion. It's called the Crocodile Commando Battalion. Then you have floating BOPs. You have composite posts where land is fixed. You have composite posts. You've given them all-terrain vehicles and fast attack flat boats to be able to navigate all this. The BSF has. Pakistan didn't have anything. They just had one marine battalion. They raised another battalion, and now they are trying to bring in some of these vehicles that have come out in the report. See, your Coast Guard is also very strong there. So he feels he's weak. And you see, everybody looks at the other country in a manner in which they themselves would have responded. The world itself is a mirror. Now he is worried. He thinks that we are going to attack from here. So he's trying to protect himself. Though he has an issue, because just behind that, if I remember correctly, there is a huge wildlife sanctuary in Park territory. So that is what is the Sir Creek. Now, just look at Munir. Almost a core worth of troops he has to take out. If you add what Saudi Arabia is asking and what USA is asking. And now he's worried. Initially, he may have agreed, because the initial draft which was given to all these Arab countries was that Israel would pull back completely. But after talks with Netanyahu, two things have come out. Disarmament of Hamas, and that Israel would have only a phased pullout. Now, if Israel had pulled out completely, Pakistan would have tried to do the same thing what they did to NATO and US and ISAF in Afghanistan. Now suddenly they realize that the IDF is just behind them. How does he play? How does he run with the hare and hunt with the hounds? He can't. And he has to demobilize Hamas. And the Arab world is getting worried because they will be the face in front of Hamas, the Palestinians. So has been a desperate throw of dice by Munir. They use the parliament to reject this deal.
Yeah, but they say one thing, they say something else here.
But to save his, what has he done? He is offering Pasni to USA. Pasni is a useless port. Only the airfield can be used. Because as per reports, that is not used by the Pak Navy also. They haven't dredged the port since 2003 and it is full of silt. Will the USA spend money? And why does he need Pasni? And Pasni, by the way, is in Balochistan, which is on fire. Why will USA go and establish themselves in Pasni and open themselves to raid with BLA? He is giving the Taliban adequate money to fund TTP and BLA.
Yeah.
Doing to Pakistan what Pakistan was doing to them in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
China has also threatened that if he gives the base, what can he do? He will not carry over his loans. Unless he carries over the loans, it becomes difficult for IMF to give money to him. We'll come to that. Now, just yesterday, IMF has called out US dollars 11 billion worth of discrepancy in import data for the fiscal years 23-24 and 24-25. 11 billion. Remember that figure. How much has he received till now? In the standby agreement which was done earlier, I think around 2023, he's received 3 billion. Then after that, there was a 1 billion he has received from the extended fund facility, which is 7 billion. Out of 7 billion, till now he has received 1 billion. The next tranche is to come. And he is yet to get any tranche from the resilience and sustainability facility of 1.4 billion. Just add 7, 3 and 1.4. How much is it? 11 billion.
Yeah.
11.4. And already the irregularity is already done in import accounting to US dollars 11 billion.
Yeah.
The embezzlement is complete even before the tranches have come in. Who is receiving how much? This is Pakistan for you. That means ultimately 0.4 billion is what is left for the country. 11 billion kha gaya already. Now something will do with IMF. So this is what is Pakistan today. All I would tell everybody is, whatever chill drink you like, take out your bag of popcorns and just watch it descend and implode through its own entropical challenges. They're least interested in the country.
Yeah.
Everything is exploding, and the biggest problem is facing both in KP and Balochistan. The Sindh, the Baloch, the Pashtuns, and the northern area battalions, troops are just surrendering everything, the weapons, the ammunition, everything to TTP and BLA, and open challenge to Munir, you can quote Marshal us. When asked, they are saying this is not our battle, this is the battle created by the Punjabis. You send Punjabi troops here, let them fight. Why should I die for this?
Yeah. So then, sir, I want to ask you, in that case, what is India's noise all about? I mean, we are making a lot of noise. Last week, we've made a lot of statements. Rajnath Singh, followed by Indian Air Force Chief, Army Chief. Is it to a timing? Is it timed to what's happening in Pakistan? Is it all part of a plan in your view?
It is all part of the greater plan for 2-3 things. Why do you say the geography and history? For me, the most critical area that India should look at is Gilgit-Baltistan. It cuts away a link of Pakistan with China. gives you a land corridor through that via Wakhan corridor into Central Asia. Straight away. And it gives you a link directly into Afghanistan. You don't need to worry about Chabahar port. The geopolitics of that is going to take time. That is number one. Number two, your biggest concern is the nuclear weapons. Quite a lot of it you have neutralized, but they still have some residual capability in their warheads that are linked to the, which are kept close to the air base and the ground based garrisons, from where they have their missiles. Their tactical nuclear warheads would also be there. So these are certain places. So you are worried. I'm sure the Americans are also worried, and you would be in talks with the Department of Defense there and the Russians of how to secure this, and IAEA. Because the collapse is taking place in front of your eyes. If the Sindh, Baloch, Pashtuns and northern area troops are not going to fight with the Pakistan army, then there is a big issue that Pakistan has. And the biggest threat, I'm not even worried about a nuclear warhead. Even a radioactive device falling in the hands of the terrorist is going to create a lot of problems, not just for the India or the region, for the globe, anyway. After all, LET people were also found in Gaza, helping Hamas.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one major issue that you are facing. Less said about Bangladesh, because when the bigger dog, the mother dog gets thrashed, the puppy with its tail under its leg will be in one corner. That is what is Bangladesh at the moment. They have sat in USA's lap for the moment, but USA itself doesn't know what it's going to do. They thought that the humanitarian corridor, the US will put the boots on ground. US sent them, and they got thrashed by the Arakan army, and I think they lost about 15-20 soldiers, and they've come running back. So that's where it stands. Because the Americans today are very scared of body bags. Their plan is very clear: make somebody else fight your war. They've been successful in many places, but they're failing in this region. And in that, we come to China, which is the elephant in the room. And my take is China is on the brink. Mm-hmm. It all begins with the Xi Jinping's illness. Mm-hmm. Last year, when the third plenum took place, after the first opening remark itself, after that he has been found missing. And that is where the struggle for leadership commenced within the CPC and the PLA. Chang Yu-jia, who is supposed to have been his blood brother, vice chairman of the CMC, he has struck fast, struck hard, and he has taken full control of PLA, the Bureau of Public Security, which is like our IB, and the Ministry of State Security, which is like our RAW. He's full control. Today, he has put a ring of steel around Beijing. There are 2 group armies deployed around it, 82 in the inner circle and 81 group army in the outer circle. 82 group army is inside Beijing, it's inside Zhongnan High. Zhongnan High is the headquarters and the living area of the CPC elite and the government. It has always been protected by a Bureau of Guards from the Bureau of Public Safety. They have been kicked out, and there is a combined arms brigade which provides the complete security inside Zhongnan High today. Even the recent Baidahe meeting which they had in April, where the elders and all come, there also the Bureau of Guards was removed from there, and the Special Operations Brigade of 82 Group Army was there inside providing security. Mao had always said that the power flows from the barrel of the gun. Chang Yu-jia had brought in Liu Yuan also. General Liu Yuan retired as Xi Jinping made him retire in 2015 as he was the political commissar. He is the son of Liu Shaoqi. Liu Shaoqi used to be the president during the chairman of the Communist Party. There is no term as president,
Yeah.
which the West and others keep calling. It is a chairman. He was against deployment of PLA during the Cultural Revolution. So Mao had him purged and had him killed in jail. Liu Yuan is one person who has both political and military experience. He joined CPC. He has been a provincial head. His basic 89 Tiananmen Square thing, he sided with the moderates. So his mother was worried that he might get purged by Deng Xiaoping. So she went and spoke to the PLA and she knew Jiang Zemin. And he was recruited in 92 as a political commissar directly as a major general. Very rare. I don't think anybody has joined the PLA directly as a major general. But he's at the moment, he came in, but he's at the moment missing. You find the re-emergence in strength by Hu Jintao and Wen Xiaopao. Who can forget the manner in which Hu Jintao was frog-marched out of the hall during the 20th Congress? Now he's come back in full force and he's brought who? Wang Yang, who used to be a vice premier, who's been retired by Xi Jinping, and Hun Chunhua, who was actually supposed to be Xi's successor, and Xi Jinping threw him out of the Politburo and put him in the Central Committee. Normal norm is one term before you bring him into the Politburo Standing Committee and then he takes over. That he didn't do. Hun Chunhua has also come back into phase. Then comes the public. There are two incidents which have taken place which are just not dying down. One is the accident in Australia, wherein LanLan Yang, a young 23-year-old girl, was involved, driving a very luxurious Rolls Royce, drunk, and crashed with a Mercedes. Nothing would have happened if she had helped the driver. She ran away from the scene. And when the digging and all started, especially by the diaspora, comes out, she has no digital footprint. Yet she owns billions of dollars. The account itself is in the name of a trust. The fact that the Australian banks are refusing to give out the name of the trust itself tells you the kind of control that China has within Australia. The flat where she lives is also owned by a trust. And when the Australian media reached that apartment block, in the garage there are 7 more luxurious cars and 1 more the similar Rolls Royce. So the question arisen and which has reached China and is refusing to die, that who is this girl? How come a 23-year-old has so much money and nobody knows? There's no digital footprint. So a lot of, I would say, discussions have taken place that she is looking after Xi Jinping's money and that she's Xi Jinping's illegitimate child. But there is no evidence. But she's being linked to the hierarchy in the CPC. And the other one is the death of the actor Yu Wenglong and the extent to which the CPC is going to cover up the death. And they are directly being linked to Kai Chi, she's factum factotum. You remember Tai Chi also came and spoke to our Honorable Prime Minister.
Yeah, he did.
Gone for the SCO meeting.
Tianjin.
And Xi Jinping again. Now these two things are just not dying down. And it is more the diaspora outside which is ensuring that it is not dying down. People have to remember that the Nepal issue also of Gen Z began from the diaspora.
Yeah.
You see, what the diaspora is doing exactly like what happened in Nepal, that they say that when we come out, we are barely able to live and make our ends meet when we come to study and do anything. It's tough for us. And here is the hierarchy which is rolling in money and living the life of luxury. So how is it? What communism are you talking about? So this is where the public is now totally anti the CPC.
Correct.
They have given them a call of 3 withdrawals. You know, Wang Huning, I call him the great survivor who's survived from Deng Xiaoping, Chiang Zemin right up to Xi Jinping. He is their Goebbels, and he keeps coining these phrases: 4 cannots, 3 have nots, 3 this, 5 that, everything. Now, the public has come out and said 3 withdrawals and openly threatened: A, withdraw from the Communist Party membership, withdraw from the Communist League membership. And this is the latest I have heard when I read about that. They have got some frontier youth uh, wing also of the Communist Party, and they have said withdraw from that also. All three. Because whenever the Communist Party falls, they say we are going to come and get you. And there have been reports of some killings of Communist Party members, like some deputy mayor got killed with his entire family. So the open, you could say, the challenge to the CPC have come up from the public because the economy is in shambles totally.
Yeah.
The economy is in shambles. The demography we know is going down. And however much they may hide with various articles, the people know that the defense equipment is failing.
Yeah.
Their latest aircraft carrier, Fujian, has been much in news because a couple of years ago, when they had tried to launch something from the deck had torn. Almost 2/3 of the length vertically and 1/3 of the length horizontally, the deck had torn. They want to compete with the Americans, damn good. In an aircraft carrier, you have a separate landing and takeoff deck. So that they keep them separately and at an angle in such a manner that your landings and takeoffs can happen simultaneously. Now, this is one of the biggest engineering goof-ups. The catapult, they have 2 catapults for launch. One of the catapults comes into the landing deck. You can either take off or land. You can't do both. As a result, they are not able to launch more than 40 or 50 sorties. Number 2, it's still in the making and it's spewing black smoke.
Wow.
The diesel turbine is giving out black smoke, the video that they showed.
Yeah.
Now, black smoke means the oil ring of the piston or the chamber of your piston through which it goes has gone. And so oil comes into the combustion chamber and it's burning, and that's how it gives out black oil. Now, you've not even launched it. That means the load on the engine is enormous. Your aircraft carrier is underpowered for the tonnage, 80,000 ton that you put, it's underpowered. When the load increases, then these things happen. So, the 4th plenum is supposed to take place starting from our Diwali, 20th to 23rd October. And a lot of observers say that this is going to be the turning point for China. So the people outside say that we are not interested in this plenum. Whoever comes is not going to be any different from Xi Jinping. We don't want the Communist Party. They are demanding democracy. They want elections in which Communist Party is not there. Now, this is the same language that Liu Yuan has been speaking since last year. General Liu Yuan. He has been talking of a socialistic democracy with Communist Party as part of it and elections that no single party rule. So it remains to be seen what do Generals Chang Yuzhia and Liu Yuan do in this 4th plenum. Which way China goes. China is in a big fix because despite, when you look at the tariff war that Trump has thrown out, nobody is talking either to USA or China for a trade deal now.
Oh.
They're talking to you.
Yeah.
Especially after the Hyundai fiasco.
Correct.
See, South Korea had promised 300 billion. Based on that, Hyundai was expanding. US doesn't have workforce. MAGA is an electioneering gimmick. You can only get MAGA if you have skilled workforce.
Correct.
If you look at our Honorable Prime Minister, he should have learnt from him. His first tenure was skilling India. That was the push. The second tenure, while the skilling India continued, he said, make in India. Because I have the skilled labor, you make in India for India and sail abroad. It is in his third tenure that he is speaking of Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is how you make MAGA. You should have said skilling America and said, I will hand over to the next chap who can then say make in America. You didn't have skilled labor even for constructing the expansion. How to handle the SMTs. The Koreans had sent the people not only for construction, even for teaching.
Yeah.
The Americans. You arrested them, handcuffed them. Now Koreans have said Tata bye-bye. You look at Japan. Verbal acceptance that he is going to invest 550 billion when they themselves are facing recession. What has happened? The PM had to resign. You've just had a new election.
Yeah.
And let's see what Sanae Takaichi does. And she is mentored by late Shinzo Abe. She's his protege. So let us see which way she goes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, his biggest worry is Europe is going to do the trade deal with you and it is going forward. It's very clear the government had said latest by November, the trade deal will be done. I'm looking at, is it going to be a Diwali bonus for them? That you tell them that trade deal done. February is the Indo-EU summit where he has called the EU Council and the commissioners to come. Once you have done the deal with EU and they are looking at you to sort out the problem between
Russia, Ukraine.
Zelensky and Putin. And you have given an open offer that the three of you, EU, Ukraine, Russia, not US, the three of you, next time you have a meeting, come to India. I wonder how much USA can pull. He's already talking of giving aid to his farmers.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 10 to 14 billion.
Yeah.
Because nobody's buying their stocks.
Yeah. China stopped buying their soybean. Farmers are angry there.
Canada has stopped his wheat. Canada has stopped his wine. The wine production, the wine dealers have been hit by 97%. It's fallen by 97% because China was the biggest buyer. Soybean, for next 10 years, China has signed the agreement. Bulk is coming from Brazil, rest from Argentina. And he's wanting to bail out Argentina.
Correct.
So it is suddenly they are finding it's not going up. Honorable EAM has also mentioned. And it is very clear that there is no progress. Because he said we have not been able to fix a landing ground. Means you have not arrived at which is the area from where you can start your trade talks that I will compromise this much and you will compromise that much.
Yeah.
So it's a no-go. If it is a no-go, and you find West Asia, Africa, Latin America, EU, everybody is coming to you and you get the deal and you start off. I'm just throwing for your audience. Everybody talks of RIC. Have they thought about IRE? India, Russia and Europe? Where does that leave China? And where does that leave Russia? US. That's happening if you are able to get some agreement between Zelensky and Putin.
Yeah.
You have iron.
Yeah. Interesting. I think I'll leave it at this for now, General Narayanan, because or maybe you can just, if you can summarize, if I had to ask you a question, because some people had a thought on their mind, what would the next war be like between India and Pakistan if there were a war, right? If you can war game it for us, what will the next war look like?
Can he go to war? That's the biggest question. The war is going to be in a multimodal domain through him, and which is the grey zone warfare where whatever he wants to do, there has to be a tremendous amount of degree of deniability for him. it is going to be more internal as far as he's concerned. If the CPC is collapsing there, be clear that on the LAC something will happen. For him, he knows conventionally what has he got left. What was in Sindhu? The Navy never left Karachi. The 2 submarines out of 8 which were functional, both were Augusta 70 and 90, ran away and hid in the Chinese port in Gwadar. They never came out, ventured out anywhere from there. This is his Navy. Nothing has come. His Air Force, nothing is left. Air Defence, nothing is left. Radars, nothing is left. Communication grid through which strategic communication, operational and tactical communications go through the land routes, everything is gone. What is he going to fight with? Noor Khan base. Why is America so worried about that? Everything changed from Noor Khan base. Noor Khan was the underground nuclear command and control post for the army. Army controls everything in Pakistan. Okay. That was the strategic communication grid made by the Americans. GE had made it. $500 million was spent. It's an underground nuclear facility which is supposed to have withstanded nuclear attack. You converted it into scrap with conventional weapons. So they have got to go back to the drawing board. South of Satluj, most of their ANTP radars were, these were all American radars.
Yeah.
You not only destroyed them, you jammed them. You jammed and destroyed them. Now that is what is their concern.
Yeah.
You painted the F-35, the British F-35, and you hit them with a DEW weapon that they got stuck in Tiruvananthapuram for 38 days.
Yeah.
What people don't know is at that time from Qatar, Al Udeid base is one of the biggest bases they have outside of America, the air base. They had sent one F-22 and F-35. You painted them with the radar. The moment they got pinged and they got the sensors and alert that you have been painted by the radar, they turned tail and ran away. Now they've got to go back to the drawing board that you have something which is homegrown, which they don't have any knowledge about, that you can see the stealth aircrafts. Your homegrown weapons have an accuracy of less than a meter. So you went through the ventilation shaft of that nuclear asset. See, if it is underground, anything underground, there are 2 shafts that are vital. One is your ventilation shaft or shafts. The other is the exhaust of the generator which is running inside. So the exhaust has to go out. Unless you are able to mask these and hide these, you're in for trouble. Americans being Americans, they're arrogant that nobody can see what we are doing with the kind of thing that we have, nobody else has. And that's when the Navik hit them.
Yeah.
This is the kind of accuracy. Less than 1 meter, you hit a tank.
Yeah.
You hit a tank, you can hit a gun. No? That is the level of accuracy you're getting, and they get scared now. So, I don't think he'll be in a position. Now the Americans have and the Saudis have demanded 1 full core equivalent. See, Indonesia has promised 20,000 boots already. They have said we are giving 20,000. So Pakistan has to give 25,000 and 25,000 to Saudi Arabia. That is 50,000. That is close to a core. Whom does he take out? Can't take out 11, which is in Peshawar. Now so he can forget it. Operation Sindoor, he had brought it. Now he can't. 12 core is stuck in Quetta, in Baluchistan. He can't take it out. 10 core, which is near Rawalpindi. What does he do when POJK is on fire? He'll be worried that Gilgit-Baltistan also goes on fire. Then what do I do? 30 core he can't take out because it borders your Punjab and J&K. He's left with 4 core, 31 core and 5 core. And his 2 strike cores, 2 and 1 core. Whom is he going to take out and which headquarters he is going to give? When he is going to take out all these, can he afford to have any fight with you? No wonder our army chief and Rajnath Singh are telling the geography will change. He won't have boots, they are there.
Interesting.
So we have to worry. Yes, across the LOC, he will still try his militant activities. He will still try to activate sleeper cells within India. China would also try to do it, and China might try to do something along the LAC. But with the PLA being with Chiang Kai-shek, most of these people are angry that Xi Jinping did a Galwan. Because today that is what they're doing. They're begging for a market with you. If Galwan had not happened and this tariff war had taken place, you might have opened some portions of your market to China.
Yeah.
But thanks to Galwan, that is done and dusted. That is what the other people are angry about it. Your exports were going to US and West, you took a fight from them. You forgot that India has a market and you took a fight with them. So, conventional war, no. Multi-domain, yes. And I lay a lot of credence to what Lutnick has mentioned about India. You know, he made a statement that we need to fix India. So when you talk of fix India, that means you're going to try regime change inside. And George Soros and his gang is an for them is an existential threat. So they will all join hands to do this. And that is where Pakistan and Chinese footprints also come to help them.
Interesting.
Let's see that is the kind of threat you're going to face.
Yeah. Interesting times.
And George Soros has said he has, in the last elections, they had kept about, I think, $4 or $5 billion. Today he's saying he's ready to spend $1 trillion for regime change in India.
On record? I haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah.
But do you have some intelligence on that?
Yeah, I think, let me see. I'll share it with you.
Interesting.
So they're going to spend a lot of money for these multi-domain threats within India. We have to got to be ready for that. External threat, yes, though I say that the chances are less, Pakistan will do something. But then, marta kya na karta? Anything can happen. So, you got to be a Surakshit Bharat. That means your internal and external threats have to be catered for, and the push for the modernization and capability development for your internal forces to look after your security inside, and for the armed forces to cater for the security outside, need to shift the bar beyond Sindoor. Now, when we talk of Sudarshan Chakra and Raksha Kavach, so both have to be put in place, because Raksha Kavach covers internal security also. Sudarshan Chakra, of course, is looking more at air defense and other security. So we need to keep working towards that, so that if and when the war opens, you present a new challenge to all the forces who are lined up against you: China, Pakistan, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and USA.
Interesting.
You present them a new challenge.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you in person soon, General Narayanan. Thank you for speaking to us here in Republic.
Sure.
Thank you.
My
Sir.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.